Basically, Bernoulli's equation is derived in two parts. First, without friction, and second, with friction. In case 1, which is Bernoulli's equation without friction, we have to take some assumptions. Let us see first, in today's session we will see the first part of Bernoulli's equation, which is Bernoulli's equation without friction. So let us start. Bernoulli's equation without friction can be derived on the basis of Newton's second law of motion. We all know what is the Newton's second law of motion. What is that? Force is equal to rate of change of momentum. We all know about Newton's second law of motion, and it states that force is equal to rate of change of momentum for any potential flow. We all know about the potential flow. Fine. So, basically, Bernoulli's equation is nothing but an energy balance. We are doing energy balance in Bernoulli's equation. And in Bernoulli's equation, without friction, it is derived on the basis of Newton's second law of motion, which is force is equal to rate of change of momentum. And for this, we have to take some assumptions. So let us see first about the assumptions. Which are the assumptions we are taking for deriving Bernoulli's equation without friction? First assumption is fluid is ideal and incompressible. We all know that what is the meaning of ideal fluid and what is the meaning of incompressible. Ideal fluid, which is there is no friction, no eddies produced, no circulation produced, that is the ideal fluid. And what is incompressible fluid? Incompressible fluid is that fluid in which density is independent of temperature and pressure. That is the incompressible fluid. So in Bernoulli's equation without friction, we are assuming that fluid is ideal and incompressible. Second assumption is flow is steady flow. That means it does not vary with time. That is the steady flow. Next is flow is along the streamline. That is one-dimensional flow. One-dimensional flow is what? The flow in which it changes with only one space coordinate. Fine. Next assumption is the velocity is uniform over the section and is average velocity. So here we are assuming that velocity is uniform over the entire system. And the last assumption is the only forces acting on the fluid are gravity forces and pressure forces. Here we are assuming during the derivation that in the whole system there are only two forces are acting, pressure force and gravity force. So now let us start to derive Bernoulli's equation without friction after applying these assumptions. To derive this, we have taken here one system. See, first I will explain what is the system. This is the system on which we are deriving Bernoulli's equation. This is the cylindrical tube which is at some angle with the horizontal. The fluid which is flowing inside the tube having density rho. Total length of this tube is delta L. The pressure which is acting in this upward direction is P. The pressure which is acting in this downward direction is P plus delta P, and the cross section area of the tube will be A. Here we have taken a datum level here. So this is the entry point of the fluid and this is the exit point of the fluid. The height of the entry point from the datum level is Z. The height of the exit point from the same datum level will be Z plus delta Z. So these are the notations which we are taking for deriving the Bernoulli's equation. Now, according to the Newton's second law of motion, the sum of all the forces acting in the direction of flow is equal to rate of change of momentum of fluid. So for this, first of all, we have to list out the equations for all the forces acting in the direction of flow and the equation of rate of change of momentum. So let us first list out the forces. First is the force from the upstream pressure, which is PA here, see, and it is in the direction of flow, so we will take it as positive. So force from the upstream pressure is PA in the direction of flow, so we will take it as positive. The force from the downstream pressure, that is this. So force from the downstream pressure is P plus delta P into A, and it is opposite to the direction of flow, so we will take it as negative. Clear? And last, which is gravity force. We all know what is gravity force, mass into acceleration. In place of mass, I can write this, see, rho into A into delta L into G. Fine. So rho A delta L into G. In place of mass, I am writing this. In place of mass, I can write volume into density, and in place of volume, I can write area into length. So what will be the final force? Rho A delta L into G. But it is acting in this downward direction, but the flow is in inclined direction. Fine. So for component of this gravity force will be rho A delta L G into cos theta. See here. So you will be clear. Fine. So component of the gravity force will be rho A delta L G cos theta. So these are the forces which are acting in the direction of flow. Fine. Now the rate of change of momentum. We have to write the equation for rate of change of momentum. So rate of change of momentum is equal to m dot into u plus delta u minus u. How can I write this? Rate of change of momentum is nothing but mass flow rate into change in velocity. Understand this? I am repeating again. Rate of change of momentum is nothing but mass flow rate into change in velocity. Change in velocity means velocity at the exit minus velocity at the entry point. Velocity at the exit will be u plus delta u, and velocity at the entry is u. So I can write that m dot into bracket change in velocity, that is u plus delta u minus u. So what will be the equation now? This rate of change of momentum is equal to m dot into bracket u plus delta u minus u. So this is positive u, this is negative u, so it will be cancelled out. So the equation is m dot into delta u. According to the equation of continuity. What is equation of continuity? M dot is equal to rho u A. So in place of m dot, I can write rho u A. So the equation of rate of change of momentum is equal to rho u A into delta u. Fine. Now we have all the equations. Fine. All the equation of the forces and the equation of rate of change of momentum. So now what we have to do, put all these equations in the main equation of Newton's second law of motion, which is sum of all the forces acting in the direction of flow is equal to rate of change of momentum. Fine. So by putting this, see, by putting these all equations in the Newton's second law of motion, what will be equation? See here, PA minus P plus delta PA minus rho A delta LG cos theta is equal to rho UA delta L. After simplifying this equation, the equation becomes minus delta PA minus rho A delta LG cos theta is equal to rho UA delta L. Fine. I can write this equation in the form of delta PA plus rho A delta LG cos theta plus rho UA delta U is equal to 0. Now for further simplification purpose, I am dividing this whole equation by rho A delta L. Again I am repeating, for further simplification purpose, I am dividing this whole equation by rho A delta L. So after dividing equation by rho A delta L, we will get the form like delta P by rho delta L plus G cos theta plus U delta U upon delta L is equal to 0. And here cos theta is equal to delta Z by delta L. If you see the figure, you can understand. See here, if I am considering this triangle, then you will get the cos theta is equal to delta Z by delta L. Fine. So in place of cos theta, I am putting delta Z by delta L. So the equation becomes delta P upon rho delta L plus G delta Z by delta L plus U delta U by delta L is equal to 0. If I am writing this equation in differential form, the equation becomes 1 by rho dP by dL plus G dZ by dL plus D U square by 2 upon dL. This is nothing but the differential form of the above equation. Now dP by rho, I can write this equation because dl will be common in the denominator of all the terms. So I can write this equation as dP by rho plus G dz plus D U square by 2 is equal to 0. Fine. So I can say that for incompressible fluid, when density is independent of pressure, for incompressible fluid, we all know that density is independent of pressure. So for that, I can write the above equation as P by rho plus Gz plus U square by 2 is constant. Fine. I can write this equation for incompressible fluid only. So P by rho plus Gz plus U square by 2 is equal to constant. So this is the Bernoulli's equation. And this Bernoulli's equation relates pressure at any point in the fluid to its position and velocity. You can see in the equation, first term is pressure term, second term is potential term, or I can say the position of the fluid, and third term is the velocity term. So Bernoulli's equation relates pressure at any point in the entire fluid to its position and its velocity. And each term in Bernoulli's equation represents energy per unit mass. So I can say that Bernoulli's equation represents energy per unit mass of the fluid, and the unit of energy per unit mass will be joule per kg in SI system. So this is about the Bernoulli's equation without friction. So that's all about today's lecture. Thank you.